Yes, the murder trial of Brianna, pronounced J. Well, that's just contrarian. Yes, the trans teenage girl, 16, right? Who was stabbed. This is the photo everyone's seen. You've all seen this photo. Good knitwear, good taste. Stabbed 28 times in the traditional Londinium fashion. The trial of the two teenagers accused of her murder is heard. Recounts the events. A girl and boy, both aged 15 at the time and from the local area, were arrested and charged with the murder of Brianna, a pupil at Birchwood High School, Warrington. Both defendants, now 16, appeared at Manchester Crown Court before Mrs. Justice Yip. Okay. On Monday for the start of their trial, expected to last between 3 and 4 weeks. This seems like a pretty open and shut case. You know? Like, man, 28 times, huh? Opening the trial, Deanna here, KC, prosecuting, said, what does this mean? King's Court? Is this like a title? Or is there a name with two King's Counsel? Is that actually it? Okay. Said Brianna had been stabbed 28 times, the head, neck, back, and chest in a sustained and violent assault. The jury of 7 men and 5 women were told, whoa, gender? We're told Brianna's body was discovered by dog walkers who saw a man and woman breaking into a run as they approached the body of a girl lying face down in the mud. Ms. Here said there was no dispute the pair seen running away from Brianna's body were the two defendants. Neither accused can be named by court order because of their age and are identified only as Girl X from Warrington. And, okay, so they had the same school. So yeah, no wait, people at Birchwood High, Warrington. No, so not the same school, the same area. Okay, they wouldn't say the school. It might be the same school. I don't know. And Boy Y from Leigh, Greater Manchester. Nor is there any dispute that in the days and weeks leading up to that day, they had discussed killing her. Indeed, it is accepted that Brianna J. was killed with a knife that belonged to Boy Y, a knife which he told Girl X he would be bringing with him that day and which he said was sharp enough to kill her. Okay, that seems pretty straightforward. Girl X wearing a dress and gray cardigan, and Boy Y wearing black trousers and shirt with a gray tie. Black trousers and shirt with a gray tie. Wait, I'm so sorry. I thought they were describing what they were dressed in when they stabbed her to death. My apologies. I didn't understand. They were saying they were at the court. Sat in the dock listening as the jury was told each defendant denied murder and denied participating in killing Brianna. Miss Here said each blames the other. The prosecution case is that whoever it was who delivered the fatal blow or blows, both defendants are equally guilty. Acting together, they planned and executed their plan to kill Brianna J. She told the court messages recovered from the phones of Girl X and Boy Y showed a preoccupation with violence, torture, and death, and recorded them discussing how they wanted to kill people they knew. So what is this, like a creepypasta couple? What, like, was like Jeff the Killer and Jeff the Killer's girlfriend? I want to stab 1,000 people. I want to stab 1,000,000. I love you. What is this shit? Jesus. Freaks. Where are the parents? She said, if that was not an unusual way for two teenagers to speak to one another, the messages demonstrate how, over time, they encourage one another to think about how they would actually carry out a killing, and the messages show how they plan it. This is literally like... This is literally it. This is literally like edgelord creepypasta bullshit material. You know? Kill Brianna in just the way that she was killed. You remember that news story of the girl who killed her friend to, like, please Lord Slenderman or whatever? Whatever. And it's cringe. Imagine dying to cringe lords, honestly. Brianna deserved so much better. In early December, Girl X sent Boy Y a video which was apparently an advert for an underground site for people who like rape, snuff, torture, and murder. Miss Here told the court. Reddit.com/r/rape, snuff, torture, and murder porn. Yes. Girl X told Boy Y, I love watching torture vids, real ones on the dark web. Oh my God. The jury heard. The court heard on the 1st of January, Boy Y sent Girl X a photo of a hunting knife and told her, spent my money, I bought a knife. Good thing these two were in the UK and not America, huh? Because these motherfuckers would have absolutely, like, gotten a gun otherwise, you know? Was it a hate crime or not? So far, nothing that's been written indicates that anything about the premeditation involved her being trans, but I haven't read that far, so we'll see. Tearful family and friends paid their last respects at Brianna's funeral, which was pink themed in keeping with the teenager's colorful personality. Oh, that's really sweet. Is this? I want to make like a UK joke or whatever, like literally a horse-drawn carriage, but like this is actually, I mean, it's macabre, but at the same time, it shows they cared, right? Miss Here said it was this knife, members of the jury, that was to be used to kill Brianna Ghey just 6 weeks after the image had been sent. In November 2022, they discussed killing a child. By the way, at this point, I almost feel like whether or not it's a hate crime is irrelevant because I think these two should be locked up for the rest of their life. These two seem to be like genuine, actual psychopaths, the kind of people for whom like criminological reform is kind of a waste of time. I'm just reading this off the cuff, but like literally these they're acting this stereotype. This is the shit for which like life in jail seems like a pretty obvious, like, I don't know. In November 2022, they discussed killing a child referred to as Boy M, the court heard. In one message, Girl X said, "If I do end up killing Boy M, I have a really sharp blade, the same one that Sweeney Todd uses. Life in prison, no parole. Honestly, death penalty. I don't care. If you're cringe enough, I think it's death. What? How do they kill people in England? They toss you off the like London Tower Bridge? I don't know. Just okay. Can you go beyond the death penalty? We should find out. Jesus Christ. If we kill Boy M, can I keep some things? A couple of teeth and an eye. Miss Here told the court Girl X claimed to have killed 2 people in messages to Boy Y, but there's no evidence she had. She hadn't. Obviously she hadn't, of course. They're flirting with each other. They're trying to impress each other. She said they spoke in messages about other people they wanted to kill, and by 26th of January, they had compiled a list of at least 4 people, as well as Brianna. Here's a vigil for Brianna J. Oh no, there's more. The court was told in December last year, Girl X messaged Boy Y telling him she was, quote, obsessed over someone called Brianna. Miss Here said on the 23rd of January, Girl X messaged Boy Y telling him she had given Brianna ibuprofen gel tablets that should have been enough to kill her. Brianna's at school like, hey, I have a headache. And this girl's like, here, take this. And she's got like 3 bottles full of ibuprofen. Here you go. Like, it's, what the fuck? Okay. Brianna's mother, Esther J, recalled her daughter had been sick around that time. It was normal ibuprofen that was poisoned. Do we know that? How do you poison ibu? You mean she opened up the gel caps and closed them again? That's a lot of competency for what are clearly 2 retarded, mentally ill babies. I have a feeling that she was like, here, you've got a headache. Take a bunch of these. I genuinely, I think, like, should have been enough to kill her. Wouldn't they have mentioned poison otherwise? No, I genuinely think Brianna was like, I have a headache. And this girl was like, you'll need this much to feel better. Like, that's literally like the only thing I can. Yeah, okay, whatever. The court heard Girl X create a fake Instagram account to contact one of their targets referred to as Boy E, but it was blocked. Okay. What do you have to do to get blocked for that when messaging like a teen boy? In a message read to the court, Girl X told Boy Y, if we can't get Boy E tomorrow, we can kill Brianna. The pair discussed meeting Brianna and killing her in Colcheth Linear Park the following day, the court heard. In one message, Girl X said, I want to stab her at least once, even if she's dead, just cause it's fun, lol. Vosh, in all seriousness, I do think we have to be consistent on criminal justice reform and shit like this. This shit is disgusting, but death penalty jokes are kind of cringe. These kids need serious therapy and help. No, I'm not making jokes. I think they should just go to prison for life. The behavior here literally just seems to be like a kind of like cognitive dysfunction, right? Like there are people who just don't have the brain wiring to feel empathy the way that we do. And it's like, it sucks, but it's better to keep them locked up forever. Or honestly, better to death penalty them than to just let them walk free, right? I think for the vast majority of people, even for murderers, there are things that you can do to help them out. Like there are things, like there are, like reformative processes. But that's not the case for all people, and it is known criminologically that sometimes it's just like, oh, somebody's brain got little. They're 15, 16, got to chill out, Vosh. Oh, you guys really want to argue with me about this, don't you? These are pretty clear signs of like severe antisocial personality disorder. This does. I'm not the judge here. I like yeah, I mean, if the state wants to spend its money giving them, like, I don't know, therapy lessons in prison forever, they can, I guess. I don't know. This just seems like the kind of behavior that indicates like a cognitive inability to sympathize with others. What if they still think they're being edgelords? That's the issue. Bosch, stop baiting chat. Chat's baiting me. Isn't the death penalty more expensive to the state? Okay, people in chat, because you've all read like 5 minutes of leftist literature and you've watched 2 YouTube videos, are looking for the opportunity to flex your incredible knowledge on me, this subject that I've only talked about 50 trillion times when I'm well known to be anti-death penalty. Okay, the only point that I'm making here, which I feel like I've been pretty clear on, if you're not trying to be contrarian, is that there are instances where like rehabilitation doesn't really seem to be like the move forward with some people. Like, you can try. I'm not saying they should literally be put in like a special extra prison where they don't get any of the amenities other prisoners get. I'm saying that the read I'm getting on these guys is that it's life in prison, you know? Lost cause shit. Not impossible. And now everyone in chat's being contrarian. And disrespecting Brianna Ghey, honestly. Or in a closed center for such special cases, not prison. No, I think prison. They stabbed a girl to death. I think prison's okay. See, now, dude, oh my god, dude, you make a million jokes about like politicians dying or whatever. Everyone chats like, yeah. You make one offhand comment about better these kids be dead than walk the streets, and even though that's objectively true, and everyone in chat's like, no, like, holy shit, you guys need to pick a lane, okay? You cannot be like irreverent edgelords when it comes to some subjects, and then when it comes to like lunatic, sociopath, murderous teenagers, all of a sudden you're like, actually, it's reactionary of you to say that. Like, you can't. You have to calm down, okay? Chill. Let's move forward. Anyway, Miss here said Girl X and Boy Y did meet each other in Kolcheth on the 28th of January, but Girl X told him Brianna said she couldn't come. Hundreds of mourners joined vigils across the UK to remember Brianna in the days following her death. Some of those gathered in Warrington wore rainbow flags draped over their shoulders, laid flowers and wrote. Okay, so this is more about, yeah, we covered stuff like this. The 16-year-old dream was to become famous on TikTok, the dream of every 16-year-old, no doubt. And she had loved to do makeup tutorials for her over 31,000 followers. Oh, she was pretty big, actually. Nice. From Aaron Reed, friend of the stream, rewarded due to British legal free. Okay. A reporter at the trial of the murder of Brianna Ghey reports that the defendants referred to Brianna Ghey as an it, called her a... Oh, okay. The hate crime charges are back on. Not that it matters. Life in prison either way. The case was not charged as a hate crime. Strong TW on this thread. I highly recommend you be careful before you click on that link. The prosecution say X was intrigued by Brianna. She sent the following message to Y. I'm obsessed over someone I know but don't have feelings for them. She's called Brianna. I don't know how to explain. Also, she has a dick, lol. Y responded, is it a femboy or tranny? Not censored in submissions. X told him she was trans and she sounded just like a girl and looked really pretty. You know what? As I guess backhanded acknowledgments have to go, the people who will then go on to murder you, going like, oh wow, she's so pretty. So this is like some psychosis jealousy thing. Gender is now involved. We have implicated gender in the conversation. Trans-inclusive radical sociopathy. Y replied that they had different tastes and asked, again referring to Brianna as it, tell me what you feel when you interact with it. X said she got nervous and stuff, but her heart felt normal. Some insane shit going on here. What? How did you feel when you interacted with the transgender? Well, my heart was not aflutter, but I don't know. There's some brain shit. Being killed by chasers is crazy. Statistically speaking, actually. Oh yeah, here we go. A few days later, X and Y discussed they would try to poison and kill Brianna Ghey using red ibuprofen gel tablets. So they really were just trying to give her a lot of ibuprofen gel tablets. That actually was the... Do you have any idea how many... Okay. Messages show this was specifically chosen as a method knowing Brianna was depressed and overdose would not be suspicious. Overdose on ibuprofen? These two are, like, actually retarded. This is insane. Like, oh, yeah, she's depressive, so no one will doubt an overdose on ibuprofen. Jesus. Yeah, yeah, seriously, imagine being stabbed to death by cringe lords. Couldn't be me. It probably will be me. X explained to Y, you know the girl I mentioned, Brianna? I'm still trying to kill her, and the easiest way is pill overdose. Please, please, people? Because people already know she is depressed and shit, so no one would get sus. But for some reason, she has a high tolerance. Oh my God. Like, I gave her some today that should have been enough to kill her. Oh my God. Oh my... Dude, she took like 6 red ibuprofen gel tablets right there in front of me. She's still alive. She must be strong. Dude. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. She got ill from it. She might have been ill, which led her to take the ibuprofen. Like, maybe the reason she took the ibuprofen was because she already felt sick. But, like, either way, I don't... X explained to Y that although Brianna had messaged to say that she had felt bad and thrown up, she didn't die. Okay? That's what happens when you take a lot of ibuprofen. You throw up. It doesn't... Okay. Was it the original sickness? Was it that? I don't even know. After E blocked this account, X messaged Y and said, if we can't get E tomorrow, we can kill Brianna. Y agreed, saying, yeah, it'll be easier, and I want to see if it will scream like a man or a girl. First of all, when people are being stabbed, everyone screams like a girl, okay? Obviously. For 2, wow. This is such a strong reaffirmation that the murderous obsession over trans women is like a kind of fetishization, you know? Like, this is such, like, Buffalo Bill shit right here. Like, you are projecting so much of your sexual psychosis onto others, you know? By the way, this is why trans women fear chasers, okay? Because if this guy was like 20% less murderous, he would just be like a particularly crazy chaser. They then discussed how to kill Brianna with X, saying we need to think of a plan. Y said, but the body plan is first. If we know what we're doing with the body, we'll kill what we can and can't do. Let's stab her original E plan back and throat. This is our well-thought-out and meticulous backup plan for murdering someone is to run up to them in broad daylight in a park, stab them, then run away when somebody sees us. When Y asked whether she would not have her own knife, she replied, I got a chef blade. Let's have 2 words, one for getting the knife ready and another to stab. Okay, right. So, okay. This is not being charged as a hate crime, despite the obvious and evident transphobia. There is only one explanation that I can think of here that might possibly justify this, and I don't really believe it. And that justification is that these people, these 2, demonstrated murderous intent that seemed to be pretty indiscriminately targeted, like, around the place, and they settled on a trans person after it didn't work out with another person, and them settling on that trans person was not like a targeted hate crime against trans people, but rather just they're bigots, or at least the guy is, I don't know, and the trans person was just on the line. Like, if it was a black person, they probably would have said racist shit. I don't know. Do I believe that? No. Nah, it's a hate crime. Pretty obviously a hate crime. So, yeah. Getting the hate crime thing to stick may have just made it more difficult to get a conviction. That is also a possibility. Keep in mind, they're already getting charged for murder 1. Yeah, like, they've already done the biggest crime. It is possible that by charging it as a hate crime, they would have just added a weakness to the prosecution. I don't know as much about the legal the legal system in the UK, but I assume it's like kind of similar to us because we rely on British common law for we based our legal system off that. So I assume there are similarities there, and my guess would be that by having this charged as a hate crime, it would mean another thing to prove, and they have like irrefutable proof of murder 1, but for the hate crime thing, they'd have to like make an argument that could potentially be subjectively analyzed, and that might be something they want to avoid. If that's the reason why, if it's purely like a strategic unwillingness to do that, I might agree with it. Like, it sounds really shitty, but these kids deserve to be locked up for a long time, and nothing should stand in the way of that, not any potential weakness in the prosecution. So, I don't even know what charging as a hate crime would do in terms of adding to a set. Would it go from like 30 years to 35? I don't even know what the addition would be, but it seems like we're dealing on margins here. Like murder one is already murder one. So, you know, that's my guess. That's my guess. Hate crime as a charge is hard to stick here in the UK. Okay, yeah, if it's purely that, if it's purely a strategic consideration, then I get that. Vosh, so what you're telling me is that they will go to jail? Well, I don't know the future. Isn't the legal age of adulthood 16 in the UK? So that would mean they committed the crime at 15, 1 year before they were adults. In the United States, it is? Okay. In the United States, if you commit a crime as a child, you usually that's like a very mitigating thing, like there are mitigating circumstances there. However, as I understand it, usually when if you're like 17 in the USA and you murder someone, you get charged as an adult. Like if you're close enough to the legal limit and the crime is serious enough, the prosecution will usually go, "Nah, f it. Like nah, you're going down. We're charging you as an adult. There's no juvie for you." It's like it's a heinous enough crime that it seems like you being a kid, just barely a kid legally, wouldn't be as much of a defense. But I don't know. Again, not a British legal expert, not a legal expert in America either.